What's going on, people? It's your boy Nando. You know what it is. It's the Pound for Pound Boxing Show in association of Dirty South Boxing. Soon, my colleague Jermaine's going to join me right now, and we've got two special guests for tonight because we got a lot to talk about. MTK Global's very own Master Knowledge himself, Spencer Fearon and Lee Eaton are going to join us tonight, and we're obviously going to talk about last night at Dillian Whyte. What an event it was last night. And obviously we're going to talk about this past year's MTK Global events, the upcoming ones, the fighters that are gonna be fighting soon as well. We've got a lot to talk about. We're just waiting for Jermaine. And then we're going to get Master Knowledge himself, Spencer Fearon and Lee Eaton as well, part of MTK Global as well, to join us. And we're going to have a talk about boxing. I see that Jermaine is on now. Let's see if I can get him on.
Hey, how you doing, man?
What's going on, mate?
Very well, mate. Very well.
Long time no see.
Yeah, a few hours now, innit?
That's it. How you doing, Lee?
All good, boys. You?
Very well, thanks.
I forgot about it.
No problem, man. It happens. But thank you for joining us. Taking your time to speak to us today.
No problems at all.
We got Mikey Mackinson watching us as well. Congratulations to Mikey as well last night.
The pest.
The pest, that's it. But first of all, let's talk about Mikey as well. What a performance he put up. I think the bookies, the odds against it were a little bit against him. They made Kongo a little bit the favourite, but he proved everyone wrong. And he
hang on 2 seconds. I see Ellie Scotty's watching. We had a bet that Kongo. She thought Kongo was going to win. So just so that I told you so, yeah.
What was the bet?
No, it's just she picked him. There weren't no money spoke about. It's all good. If she knocked me, I ain't gonna do nothing. She scares me.
Ellie's watching. Congratulations on your win last week as well.
Unbelievable win last night. Over the moon. I was in my bedroom jumping up and down. The missus was going mad. Listen, I'm just over the moon for him. He's one of the nicest kids about. He just wants to achieve. And this, like I said last night, his first fight for us, he paid for himself to fight in a 4-rounder at Grace Civic Hall on the undercard of a Southern Area title fight. Sorry. And so that was against Kev McCauley. And then he's gone on and fought, I think he's 74 and 4 losses and 2 draws, 6 opponents with that record. So I mean, 3 unbeaten fighters in the last 3 fights. It's been a good journey, and I'm just so pleased for him that he's been asking for these opportunities for a long time, and I'm glad that MTK and myself have been able to deliver.
Yeah, it was a brilliant performance. Well, I mean, I really enjoyed that fight. For me, I said ready to when I interviewed Mikey a few days ago. I said it's potentially the fight of the night for me. It was fantastic. I mean, he boxed so well. A lot of people, some people had it, I don't know, 50-50. Some people had obviously gone into the fight, but I just think Mikey boxed so well, and it made it uncomfortable for Chris all night last night, if I'm honest.
Yeah, listen, he went in there, stuck it straight on him, and Chris didn't expect that. And for the first 3 rounds, he pissed. I had him winning seven rounds to 3 with a knockdown, so I had him winning the fight quite clearly. Scores were a bit close, but listen, Chris is a great fighter, and he's a good kid. Obviously, I know Chris. I speak with Chris as well, so there's massive respect there between obviously the teams and stuff like that. And I wish him good for the future, but it's Mikey's time now.
Amazing. What could be next for Mikey now? Because obviously Jermaine spoke to him. When was it? Last week, Jermaine, and you brought up a few names to him, and he's up for it. He's up for these big names. So what was one was Virgil Ortiz.
Mate, the kid's not wired right. As soon as we signed Virgil Ortiz, within about 10 minutes, I shared it onto my Instagram. Within 10 minutes, I'll fight him. Calm yourself down. We was in talks for him to fight Jerome Ennis. But obviously, because of Mikey's profile and stuff like that, he's not got a big profile at the minute. He's not got a great big profile at the minute, so the TV wasn't really happy with him to fight Jerome Ennis, and then he went and fought. He's fighting Lipinets now, so obviously it's a massive, bigger fight. But Mikey accepted terms for that. Mikey will fight anybody. He just wants his opportunity to prove that he's one of the best at the 147 division.
Yeah, I mean, he did mention that obviously that during Ennis, he mentioned that. He mentioned obviously Ortiz. Do you think for him now it's going to have to be a fighter just outside the championship level, or maybe not a domestic fight at British level?
Well, he's WBO number 5. He's just beat the WBO number 13 and won a WBO title. So there's already been an email put into the WBO to push him up into the rankings further than number 5. I think he deserves it. There's some massive names up there, Sean Porter's, Virgil Ortiz and stuff like that. So if he gets one of them fights, is it likely? I don't know, because he hasn't got the best profile, but that's what we're working on now. Eddie's obviously said winner stays on, so fingers crossed that he's true to his word, which he says. And Mikey will be on a Matchroom show next, so hopefully people get to know him. If he carries on winning, then the world's his oyster.
Is there any interest of him fighting like for a British title or Commonwealth, or is he looking at world level now to go up?
No, I think he's beyond that level. And with Mikey, he's licensed by the BUI, so he's not British Border Control, so he can't fight for the British title. So he's always been licensed with the BUI. He's never obviously gone for a British Border Control license. That's why it was so hard for him at the start. But listen, he's stuck with what he's done. He's got into the position he is. MTK have delivered on 6 or 5 fights on our shows, headline fights against McNess, Luis Alberto Veron, Evgeny Pavko and stuff like that. So he's had good fights, and he's got into the position now. People are starting to realise who he is, and I'm happy for him.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Obviously, obviously respect goes out to both of the fighters. Obviously, putting their unbeaten record on the line. Avoided, both of them being avoided.
That's the fact. Chris did not need to take that fight. He would have been on that show no matter what. So respect to Chris for taking that fight.
Yeah, 100%. Like I was saying, both of them undefeated, putting their undefeated record on the line. For me, both of them have been avoided for a long, long time. Both fighters not being able to get the fights they always wanted to. And so fair play to both of them last night, putting all on the line and giving us a great fight. So yeah, I think nothing but the best for the both of them going forward now.
100%. I wish Chris will be back, and I wish him all the best for the future.
Another fight last night. Unfortunately, it was an MTK global fighter. It didn't go his way, but what a fight it was! Ted Cheeseman versus Jj Metcalf.
Ted Cheeseman, he needs respect on his name for that, because JJ in the 4th round where he nearly had JJ out and looked like he was like JJ broke his heart, but then obviously JJ hurt him and then he hurt JJ and it was backwards and forwards. An unbelievable fight. So big up Ted Cheeseman and big up JJ Metcalf on an unbelievable fight of the year contender. I was picking JJ. Obviously I'm friends with Tony Sims, Jim, all the boys out of that gym, but obviously he's MTK, so I had to pick him. And obviously JJ's a great fighter, and I believed he was going to do it, but gutted for him. But listen, fair play to Ted Cheeseman. After the Garcia fight, he got wrote off. So I believe he's gone back, worked his arse off in the gym, and he's getting cracking now. Good luck to him.
Yeah, we put up a post with is this the British? Well, I put British anyway. It could be fight of the year contender. I put, is this the British fight contender of the year? Everyone voted yes. It's got the 100% vote there. What a fight it was. And scary part about it is is after the fight, the interview with Ted Cheeseman, I completely forgot the geezer is 25 years old. It's like he's been around forever, and
Yeah.
he's not even in his prime.
Nah, exactly. Ted's had a few hard fights, but he seems refreshed. Tony Sims is an unbelievable trainer, and they've got a good cracking gym down there, good sparring and that. So he's obviously they're doing well. So good luck to Ted, and I hope he pushes on.
Well, I want to ask you, Lee, what's next for JJ going forward now after this fight?
JJ will dust himself off. He'll be back. Obviously, listen, he's at that level. He's definitely a British level. Maybe we're pushing on to European level. So, listen, he needs to get a fight back, and then he'll be straight back in the mix. It's a mad division. There's plenty of fights there for him. So we'll just have to see where he goes from now.
Even though we were speaking about Mackinson and we went on to Ted, out of curiosity, despite what Mikey does in the welterweight division, can you ever see him going up to super welterweight?
No, I think he's quite comfortable at welter. He makes it quite easy. He's not massive, big enough for super welter. So no, I think he's quite happy at welterweight at the minute. If a massive fight comes out, 100%. Mikey will go up to being super middleweight. You know what he's like.
Obviously, last night the main event, Dillian Whyte. What a performance it was! What was your take on that?
Buzzing for Dillian to get revenge. Obviously, he was bossing the fight before, and then he got caught. Takes a lot of bollocks to go in and fight the man that just knocked you clean out on obviously pay-per-view, and he went in and destroyed him. So over the moon for them. I hope he goes and gets a good fight. Dillian Whyte's fought everybody. He hasn't, obviously, he's never. So good luck to him. I hope he pushes on, and one day he will get that world title shot.
Are you shocked with? Not shocked, but surprised how much his boxing ability has improved under Javier Miller?
To be honest, it's hard to say. Obviously, he's only had 8 rounds, hasn't he? Because he's only had the 2 Povetkin fights, and one of them he obviously got knocked out. So, listen, he had a great Mark Tibbs. What Mark Tibbs done with Dillian Whyte is unbelievable. After the AJ fight, Mark Tibbs got on board. Mark Tibbs took on a great run. Mark Tibbs is a great coach, so I think he done really well. It shocked me when he left him, but listen, if he feels with Xavier Miller, he feels comfortable. It's good that they brought in one of was it Lennox Lewis's old coaches?
Yeah,
it's good that they brought in someone else to help and stuff like that. So good luck to him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they brought in Knight. They brought in Knight and done a good job, helped out in the camp. Obviously, fantastic win last night. I thought the show was just a great show in general. You had some really good fights on there. Opening the show, you had Yusuf Kamari versus Ken Baker, which was also a good fight. I want to talk a bit about, obviously, last couple of weeks, your show, MTK Global, every Friday night fight, MTK Global Fight Night. Starting off with the show on February 19th, which was the main event, was McComb v. Gwen. That was a fantastic show you put on there. Obviously, Tetley and three as well. Fantastic fight at welterweight as well. Think about the shows the last couple of weeks you put on.
Yeah, no, listen, obviously February show was stacked from top to bottom. Gutted for Sean McComb. Things didn't go right in camp. No disrespect. No excuses or anything. Gavin Gwynn was the better man. And Gavin Gwynn's only lost to 2 world-class fighters in James Tennyson and Joe Cordina. So it was a massive risk and step up for Sean. It didn't work out, but listen, he'll dust himself off and come back. Gavin will be fighting on one of our shows, probably June time, defending his Commonwealth title. So yeah, Sean will be back. I'm sure he'll be winning titles.
100%. Obviously, another great fight was Tetley v. Antwi as well Obviously, Anthony coming the new English champion. How do you rate his performance that night?
It's a really good performance, faultless, wasn't it? Samuel Antwi is another one that nobody wants to go near. There's just no reason to go near him unless you want an English title. He's a very, very hard man, very good fighter. One of the really, really nice fella as well. But listen, he's another boogeyman, isn't he? So hopefully we've got options on his next fight. He's been mandated to fight Casey Benjamin, but I'm not sure if they're going to take that fight. I've heard conversations that he's going to fight on May 22nd on a Hennessy bill. So I'm not sure they'll take that fight. If they don't take that fight, then we've got to look at obviously other options.
That would have been a really good. Hopefully, it still does maybe happen. But that's a really good fight. I mean,
obviously for Casey Benjamin, it's a very, very hard fight.
Yeah.
So Samuel Antwi is a bit of a tank, isn't he? So
he can certainly bang. That's for sure.
Yeah. So.
I want to obviously talk about another fight as well. Paddy Donovan got a win that night as well. Obviously, I interviewed one of your fighters as well, Rowan Date, and he's actually fancies a fight. Obviously, there'll be a massive fight for Ireland. Those two maybe getting on maybe sometime this year. He actually said he wouldn't mind if it was to happen on the Fury AJ card. Could you see maybe this fight happening sometime?
He's got hopes, isn't he? Fighting on Fury AJ. So what, Rowan Date, he fights on some shows in Dubai that obviously MTK have been involved with our partners D4G. I'm not sure what his plans are. Yeah, it'd be a good fight. I believe it'd be a very good fight, but Paddy Donovan's a special fighter. He's going to be very hard to beat. He's been on, I think, is he 6-0 now? So he's, he's been on 5 of our shows. I've matched every one of his fights, so it's been good to see his progression, and he's been stepped up every single time. So obviously when he fights for us again, there'll be another step up and stuff like that. So Paddy Donovan's a very good fighter. I expect big things from him.
100%. Nando, I'll let you go through the next question.
Yeah, obviously another night that you had was Lee McGregor versus Kareem Greffy. We interviewed both. Both were very confident about the fight wouldn't go the distance, and one of them lived up to their promise. Did you think that he was gonna put a performance like that so early in the fight?
No. Well, the thing is, with that fight, obviously it was cancelled 4 times, so I was glad to get it on. And it was quite awkward for me because I'm Kareem Greffy's manager, and Lee McGregor's obviously MTK and he's a good friend of mine. Obviously, we've always spoken. Do you know what I mean? So it was quite difficult for me. The team user was texting me saying, "Oh no, your team Greffy" and all that. So it was all good banter and stuff. But for Lee to go in and do that job, it's unbelievable. Showed that he's a very special fighter. No one's done that to Kareem. And listen, Kareem's is 33 now, 33 something like that. So his days at bantam are done, but listen, it doesn't matter. He was fit, he was ready, he was bang on the weight, he was ready for that fight, he was confident. And Lee McGregor went in and done an absolute demolition job. So fair play to Lee McGregor. Big things happening for him.
I want to bring up a name for you for Lee McGregor. I just want your thoughts on it because IFL TV interviewed this certain individual the other night. He said, levels above the English title. I want to go for the British title, Commonwealth, and that's Dennis McCann. What's your thoughts of Dennis McCann versus Lee McGregor?
Listen, Dennis McCann will fight anybody, but listen, Al Smith is a fantastic coach, and Al Smith will clip his wings. Listen, Dennis will fight for all titles, but Dennis knows he's another unbelievable special talent. He'll be in some great fights. He'll win big titles. I believe he'll be a world champion, but that's well too early for him. He's in the learning stage at the minute. Another few 8-rounders and stuff like that, and he'll win big titles. But that fight is well too early in my eyes, and obviously Al Smith's eyes and stuff like that. So, but Dennis is a cheeky little shit, and he's unbelievable.
Unbelievable talent.
unbelievable talent, but he's a good crack. He's got a personality and everything. I'm a big fan of his, and obviously he's with MTK, so it's good to be around him and stuff like that. But yeah, listen, in another 18 months, he's going to be a big problem.
100%. I agree as well. I love watching Dennis fight. He's fantastic talent,
Yeah,
and I believe he's going to go far. Really nice guy as well. But staying on Lee McGregor, obviously what he's achieved so far in his career, obviously in 10 fights, is unbelievable. Obviously going on to add the European to the British and Commonwealth, it's a fantastic feat. What do you think's next for him? Obviously he said in the next 12 months he's hoping to one day fight for a world title. Is this what you guys are maybe thinking down the line?
yeah. Well, listen, Lee will be fighting on Josh Taylor's undercard in Vegas. That's the plan. So he'll be on that in May, and then he'll probably, when Josh wins, obviously he'll be fighting possibly Jack Catterall. So and then Lee will be on that in a big fight. So there's big plans for Lee. He's number 4 in the IBF, I think he is. Paul Butler's number 3. Anue's fighting in April. If Anue keeps the title, obviously he will have a few defences, but he's not ready for Anue yet. But listen, imagine if they do Paul Butler versus Lee McGregor for the vacant title, when Anue will. It's a massive fight for the UK, both with MTK. So listen, there's plans there at the minute. At the minute with Lee, he's just fight in Vegas and then see how it goes from now. There's no rush. He's still only 10 fights and he's still only young. So, but there's a massive future for him.
100%. Yeah, like I said, I was blown away by his performance. I was really looking forward to this fight. Obviously, like you said earlier, it was cancelled a few times. We were wondering if his fight was ever going to go ahead, but finally did go ahead, and he put in a fantastic performance.
Yeah, very stressful.
I bet it was. Another fight I want to talk about is Shabazz Massoud as well. Fantastic performance against Gorman as well. Really, very good things going for this guy future-wise. Do you know when he's going to maybe be out again soon after his performance?
Not sure when he's going to be out, but obviously it'll be probably before the summer. He's mandatory for the English title, so that's the route we'll be looking to take next. Ben Davison really rates Shabazz. There's some of the names that he said to me that he'd put him in with the other day. I was quite shocked. So I think he's ready to move him quite fast. So we'll just have to see how he gets on once he's got a new date, and then move on from now.
Lee, are we allowed to know some of those names?
One of them's Greffy.
Wow.
That was before the fight as well.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm in speech about that. Yeah, but that shows you the levels already that this kid is at.
Yeah, listen, he believes in Shabazz, so we'll see.
Another fight I want to talk about is Hughes versus Highland Junior. Fantastic fight. Obviously for the British lightweight title. How much did you enjoy that fight?
You know what? Been on a little journey with Maxi. Maxi boxed Liam Walsh in York Hall for the WBO European title. He lost on a points decision. He stuck at it. It was his first fight with Sean. Big Sean said to me, "When listen, this will be the first fight, and then we'll push on. We'll come back and win titles." I said, "Oh, well, good luck." So I mean, we weren't nothing to do with Maxi. And obviously, when in June, when we offered his manager Steffi Ball the John O'Carroll fight, I didn't think they'd take it. Steffi was like, "Oh, I don't really want it," and then, I don't know if it's for the right fight, and that. Maxi went, boom, yeah, we'll have it, let's go. Obviously, that fight has changed his career. He went in and put on a career best performance. Jono's a crowd person. Jono's a fantastic fighter. He was boxing on the first show behind closed doors. Maybe he did overlook him a bit, but it is what it is. He took it like a man and cracked on. Obviously, congratulations to him last night on the win. He got back in the winning ways last night. And then Maxi, we offered him the Victor Kostichigov fight in Dubai. He went out there, won that. And then Walsh Walsh pulled out because he was still ill with COVID and that. And I rang him out and said, 4 weeks, you're fighting. He went, yeah, no worries. What for? I went, British title. He went, no way. And he was like, yes, 100%, let's do it. I didn't even talk to him about money. He rang me about 3-4 hours later, and then I said, oh, do you want to know the money? He went, oh, yeah, all right, no worries. But he was just, listen, his dream was to win that British title. So for us to give him that opportunity, he was literally buzzing. And he went in there and done an absolute job. Obviously, the referee, it was a bit of a weird ending, but the referee, what it is. But it was only ending in one way, and I believe, obviously, Maxi Hughes is a new British champion, so over the moon for him.
Yeah, it was a fantastic night.
To see, obviously, a fighter literally down and out, and then come back and do that. It's been great, and we've got a good relationship, me and Maxi. So I was over the moon for him.
Yeah, I remember that. Obviously, I remember the interview after. You can see how much I meant to him after when he was talking. You could really see, obviously, all the hard work and sacrifice he's made has really paid off.
Yeah.
Another card I want to talk about is the March 12th card you put on as well. Fantastic card as well. Obviously, Crocker against Ilbay as well. Absolutely, WBO European welterweight title. Fantastic fight. Fantastic fight.
What was he made of? He was made out.
He was nails.
Absolutely unbelievable. Lewis Crocker's an unbelievable talent. He's obviously come up through that, like our Belfast cards and stuff like that. And then the breakout fight for him was with Louis Green in lockdown, and he absolutely destroyed Louis Green. And that's when I sat back and thought, oh, this kid can proper fight. And then he was scheduled to fight Samuel Ansby, was going to do that. But then the Ilbay fight come up, and it was a better ranking fight, and everything worked out that it was a better fight. So, and it was an unbelievable fight. Lewis done his job. He's world ranked with the WBO now, so there's only going to be big fights ahead for him.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, fantastic fight. Obviously, going into this fight, a lot of people. Obviously, I interviewed Mikey McKinson before, and he was talking about his performance and how highly he rates him. And he's saying, obviously, a lot of people don't really talk about obviously Crocker and other welterweights, like obviously Chris Jenkins and stuff like that. I mean, can you really see some great domestic fights happening for obviously involving the likes of Crocker, maybe McKinson and Jenkins and stuff like that going forward?
Yeah, 100%. I spoke with Errol Johnson yesterday about McKinson versus Danny Ball. Obviously, it's just floating ideas. I think it's a great fight. Danny Ball had obviously a win the other night over our boy, but something like that. Or he was eliminator for Anthony Tomlinson, but I spoke with Tomlinson's, and they're going to go a different route, which I respect. So there's plenty of big fights out there for him, but he has a WBO European fight and his title, and he's world ranked. So there's plenty of big fights out there other than the British. He can go beyond that. So there's big things happening for Lewis Crocker.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, it's a fantastic card for me. It's probably one of my favourite cards as well. I mentioned some fights on there as well. As Carl made his debut against Jordan Dujon. Obviously, got the win on his debut. Really, really good amateur, this kid, and obviously put on a great performance on his debut. How did you rate his performance, and how chuffed are you with this fighter?
Yeah, well, listen, Cole wanted. I sent him a name, and they come back and went, "No, we want someone better." I said, "All right, sweet." So I got him, obviously, and then got him a good fight, and then that fell out. And then it was a week to go. He had no opponent, and Jordan Dujon took the fight. To fight a 4-0 kid on your debut is pretty impressive. I think he done really well, Cole. He's got a big future. So looking forward to seeing him back and progressing.
100%, really good performance and really good, like I said, really good amateur. I'm looking forward to seeing him obviously fighting again soon. Obviously his brother got off the debut win as well, Ben as well. I want to talk a bit about another debutant as well, Jordan Reynolds. I interviewed Jordan going into his debut in a bubble, and Robbie Chapman we know very well as well. He made his debut against Rob Chapman, got a really good win there to start off his career as a professional, a really good amateur again.
Yeah.
How far can he go? Because he's a really good talent, Jordan. I really, really like Jordan. How far can you see him going?
Jordan's more than just a boxer. He's got everything about him. He's got, obviously, he's a massive character. People love him. Do you know what I mean? He can be like a star because of just his outside the ring, what he's like. You know? So it's going to be exciting, and he's up for the fights. He wants to fight. He's asked for Nathan Heaney next. I was like, just calm yourself down. But I mean, so go. He don't like. He ain't ready to sit down and fight a couple of like away fighters and stuff like that. He wants to go in proper fights straight away. So another exciting future ahead.
Yeah.
One fight I would love to see him fight is John Harding Jr.
Make it another fight or two. Just do it.
That would be a good fight. But yeah, I mean, Nathan Heaney, obviously, I interviewed Nathan before his fight on BT Sport. He pulls a big crowd. Jordan pulls a big crowd. That could do some real numbers.
I've ever seen. Big up Nathan Heaney.
Yeah.
Really, really is. I mean, obviously, got massive lot of Stokie fans.
Jordan will sell 500 tickets minimum.
Yeah.
Luton, if it like in London, if you went to Luton, he'd do 1,500 tickets. He's well loved in Luton.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a hard place to have that. I mean, where would they, if it was to have that, it would have to be somewhere like neutral for you guys.
A big head of him at the minute, so it's not really a fight to talk about. But listen, Jordan's got to go get 3 or 4 wins, and if he goes into 8-rounders and stuff like that, he could be calling them boys out. But for now, he just needs a couple of fights to get into learning fights. But he don't want to fight anyone with losing records. He wants a winning record straight away. So we'll speak with the team and see where we go with him.
Yeah. Before I obviously let Nando speak, I've got another 2 more fighters I want to talk about, and then I'll pass you off to Nando. Another fighter I like, I know very well as well, is Mason Rake. He beat Levy Dunn recently. I'm a big fan of Mason. His dad as well.
Obviously, it's the first show he's been on for us. Very, very flashy style. Proper nice kid. When he got, I think he hit him after the bell, and then he come out. He was apologising for about 10 minutes. I said, "Don't worry about it. It's what it is." Proper nice kid. But yeah, he's up for the big fights. He'll be ready to go again soon. So I think there's a few fights there for him. So we'll see how he goes.
Yeah.
Who would you like him in the ring with?
Who, Mace?
Yeah.
I really looked at a few many names at the minute. Obviously, I've been busy with the next couple of cards, but obviously over the next week or so, I'll be putting together possible fights for all the prospects. So we'll see in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, very, very good talent, a very likable guy as well, very, very down to earth and humble. I've really got time for him. He's a really, really nice guy.
We're going to want to fight him. It's another Michael McKinson, very, very awkward and unorthodox.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Another fight. Before I let you go to Nando, last fighter as well. Nando's got a lot to talk about this fight as well.
This one.
Yeah, I know. I'm taking out everything now. I'm sorry, mate. I'm hogging a limelight. But another fighter is Isaac Lowe. Obviously, got a win recently. Obviously, he suffered a cut on the eye as well. Obviously, Nando interviewed Jordan Gill. Isaac's been very vocal about that fight happening.
That fight's got to happen, hasn't it?
You don't want it no more.
Huh?
He put a tweet out. He wants Gavin McDonald now.
Yeah, but listen, Gavin McDonald's a bigger fight for him because it's the European title if he wins. So
yeah,
you know, with Isaac, listen, Isaac's a great character. So listen, he's at that level. It's a Jordan Gill fight or a Gavin McDonald fight is the next step, really. I think but obviously, I don't. I'm not too much involved in these next fights and stuff like that. But I'd like to see him versus Jordan Gill or Gavin McDonald. So listen, he's well ranked. He's ready to go. He's got a good record. So I'll be excited to see them 2 fights.
100%. Nando, so you got some questions to ask.
Thank God for that.
Mate.
I will add one thing to a fighter that you guys spoke about, and I don't think he's ready for that fight yet, but eventually an explosive fight I would love to see, and it will be fireworks, will be Lewis Crocker versus Samuel Antwi. eventually, because that will be an amazing fight.
So that may happen, down the line. But at the minute, there's other plans for obviously, and then we'll just see.
I'm not 100% sure if this fight is MTK Global. I just want your take on probably the shock of the night. Lennox Clark with Willie Hutchinson last night.
Off the phone to his manager and trainer Errol Johnson and just obviously congratulating him. It's an unbelievable. I've not watched Lennox. I've watched him a few rounds versus Lerone Richards, but I've never actually watched anything else of him. So I didn't know going into it, but the way he's been built up and Willie Hutchinson, I just expected that it'll be a Willie Hutchinson win. And to see what he done to him, absolutely unbelievable. And to see like underdogs like that, he's come from the white collar scene. He's come up the hard way, and to go and do that live on BT and win British and Commonwealth titles, absolutely over the moon for him. Over the moon. So good luck. Wish him all the well. It's not that packed of a division, the super middleweight. So there's some good fights out there.
Yeah, even him against Zach Parker as well will be a good fight.
Yeah, but listen, Zach's number one. They're managed by the same, trained by the same person. So they've got the same trainer. Zach's number one with the WBO.
Yeah.
Listen, that won't happen.
Could you see the potential rematch with obviously Lerone Richards down the line?
Well, Lerone's fighting for the EBU title. Lerone, I feel like he's above that level. So at the minute, it makes no sense. So Lerone will go win the European and probably move on. So I don't think it'll happen, to be honest.
Another two fighters I want to bring up and hope, well, they might match up and maybe fight for the vacant British title if Joe Joyce vacates it. One, great performance from Nathan Gorman last night. It's good to see him mentally and physically in a good place.
Well, Nathan's not ever been that exciting of a fighter. He's always got mad hand speed for a heavyweight. But last night he went in and destroyed his kid, so fair play to him.
David Adelaide?
Yeah, listen, David Adelaide's a good talent. Obviously, that fight the other night was absolutely pointless. But listen, I know what it's like at short notice when his opponent got COVID, and to get opponents in at short notice, and especially with his like a well talked about heavyweight, I'm surprised they even found someone. So it is what it is. He went in, he's had his camp, he's gone through the motions, and he'll probably be out again soon. So listen, it's a good fight down the line, but right now, I don't have nothing to do with both fighters. I don't think what's the point for Nathan Gorman? I feel like Nathan Gorman's ahead at the minute. So Nathan Gorman versus Fabio Wardley, I like that.
Yeah, I say that.
So something like that. So there's plenty of good fights out there. I like talking about not my fighters because people don't pull me up on it.
Another shock of the night was Adrius Ruiz against Stefan Adderton on his debut as well. Second round KO.
It's a danger. Ruiz is a danger. Got offered him for a few of my fighters and said no straight away. But listen, Stefan, obviously is a nightmare for him. Obviously on his debut, getting absolutely like ironed. It was bad. It's a bad knockdown. And I'm glad he's all right and he's up. It was video on social media, and I wish him all the best. But it's gonna be hard coming back mentally from that. So I hope he does, because he's a boxer, he's a fighter. So I just hope he comes back mentally from that.
100%. Another fighter this weekend, me and Jermaine are a huge fan. The legend Carl Frampton, looking to become free-weight world champion. Jamal Herring, now live on Channel 5. It's going to be on IFL TV. We can't wait for this fight.
Yeah.
after it was?
I don't actually know, but if it's on channel, I think it'll be on Channel 5. It won't be on IFL TV as well. So because it'll be because Channel 5 will have the rights sort of thing. So I think the undercard might be on obviously IFL. I don't know. But listen, Cole is unbelievable fighter, had an unbelievable career. I was at his fight for Daniel, and the atmosphere was just spine tingling. I really, really hope. Obviously, Windsor Park as well. I was there for Windsor Park. I really hope he does it. But listen, Jamal Herring is a big boy, and he. I believe Cole wins, but listen, it ain't going to be easy. They're both MTK as well, so I've got to sit on the fence really.
Seeing as they're both MTK, I don't know if you might know this, but is it true that whoever wins has to face Shakur Stevenson? Is he the mandatory?
There's a stipulation that the winner has to fight the winner of Shaka Stevenson versus Shaka Stevenson's fighting the number 2. I've heard, so I don't know if
that is or June.
Yeah, that's what I've seen on social media. So be fighting him, and then the winner of that is mandatory, has to fight Cole or Jamal, and if they don't fight him, then vacate the title.
So we could potentially see Carl Frampton, Shakur Stevenson in Dublin if Carl...
Park, mate, at Windsor Park. Imagine that.
That would be unbelievable.
Road trip, let's go.
I think we definitely road trip for that.
Don't be in Belfast for boxing. When crowds open, get yourselves over. It's the best. Unbelievable.
I've been to Belfast. I haven't been for an event, but it's an amazing city anyway, so I can imagine for a sport event what it's like.
Park was unbelievable. Windsor Park was unbelievable. There's been some great nights at the Odyssey. So, yeah, no, it's good. It's the best. Belfast is the best boxing city.
Yeah. Lee, I want to talk about another fighter, MTK Global, Virgil Ortiz. Obviously, coming off a great win against Morris last week. Obviously, he's been very vocal that he wants to fight Terence Crawford. Obviously, Terence Crawford thinks he's at another level. Do you reckon that fight will happen down the line, maybe one day?
I'm pretty certain he's the number 2 in the WBO. So, obviously, Sean Porter's number 1. Listen, I don't really know. I don't really have anything much to do with the American fighters. There's obviously other people that deal with that, but Virgil Ortiz is one of the best up and coming fighters in the world. He's unbelievable. Him and Jaron Ennis are going to be the best at welterweight over the next few years. So exciting times.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, very good performance. Smelling a former world champion like that, and yeah, the future's bright as a fighter.
But look at Teofimo Lopez. Everyone said that was too early. It's boxing at the end of the day. Listen, the amount of shocks have happened this weekend, you can't ever predict anything in a minute.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, staying on Teofimo Lopez.
Here we go.
And Nando has to hear this. And me and Nando had a podcast before the fight, and obviously he was saying Lomachenko. He couldn't see Lomachenko get a beat. I actually predicted the takeover Teofimo Lopez to get the win. So I wasn't really shocked by it.
Did you win money on it?
I didn't put money on it, no.
So you didn't really believe. You didn't really believe.
Actually, but you look at the video. If you look at it, it's a video. I don't know. But obviously, he didn't do that well. But
he's a massive, massive talent. I didn't give him any chance at all. So.
The thing is, if you don't win money on it, it don't count. It's the same, and there's no disrespect to Willie Hutchison. I predicted that Lennox Clark was going to knock him out last night. I told Jermaine, I didn't put money on it. It don't count. So
happen.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, I should have, but it is what it is. Really, it is what it is. I want to talk about another potential fight that could happen. They're both being very vocal on Twitter, back and forth. Nando knows what I'm talking about. There's the Albanian king, Florian Marku, maybe against O'Hara Davis, Two Tanks Davis. Very vocal on the social media. Do you really think this fight could ever happen potentially down the line?
Listen, if Eddie wants to offer him the money, I'm sure he'd be interested. But to be honest, O'Hara Davis just won the golden contract. No disrespect to Florian Marco. Why would he step down to fight Florian Marco? I love Sam Jones. We get on with. Obviously, he loves Florian Marco and that. But listen, at the minute, it's a good fight. But at the minute, it makes no sense at all for O'Hara Davis.
To be honest, I put up a poll. I remember you even said no, Lee, on it. You pressed no on it.
Yeah.
Both fighters pressed yes. Both fighters shared it.
O'Hara Davis. O'Hara Davis is a nut. He's a nutcase. He'd fight him. He'd fight him anytime. Do you know what I mean? But that's why he's got a team behind him. Right, Richard? Yeah, that's why he's got a team that deals with all that side of it. But he's just won the golden contract. Obviously, there's going to be big fights ahead for him to fight Florian Marco now. No, he's pointless. So it might. So I'll have to speak with the team and see what they're doing. But at the minute, if they're going to pay him huge money, I can't see that fight happening.
O'Hara's been very vocal that he wants Lewis Ritson. Can you ever see that fight happening?
Yeah, that fight's more, obviously, that's Lewis Ritson's fighting for a world title eliminator. If he wins that, then obviously him versus O'Hara down the line's a great fight. So there's plenty of fights out there for O'Hara, but I just think, listen, Florian Marco in another few fights, if he goes and gets a few wins, then maybe. But at the minute, if you look who beat anybody, to deserve a O'Hara Davis fight. O'Hara Davis just won the golden contract. But listen, Florian Marco in Albania is a scary thought.
100%. Another fight I want to talk about, obviously, this fighter got injured recently. Obviously, the fight didn't materialise on this weekend just gone. Was Hakeem Ennis-Brown versus Samuel Maxwell. Obviously, Sam got a good win on the weekend. Yeah. And then, obviously, Hakeem...
We're hoping...
With injury. Could this fight happen soon? Any update on that?
Yeah, we're hoping that gets rescheduled quite quick because Hakeem, hopefully, he'll be ready and fit and ready to go. I know Sam really wants it. So, hopefully, that fight happens soon.
Brilliant.
Liam Williams, Andrade?
Liam Williams by stoppage.
You can see that happening?
Pray to God. Love
that. Big fight.
Williams is an absolute crank. But brilliant fighter up at middleweight. Different kettle of fish. So fingers crossed. He goes and does the job.
It's going to be an explosive fight. Usually Andrade is all a jokey, always, making jokes and that. I recently interviewed him, and Jermaine saw it. He was all joking, and then we got on the subject of Liam Williams, the Twitter spat, and mentioning his hair. The moment I mentioned that, you saw a different side of Andrade, and he said, "You know what? I'm gonna knock him out." He was literally serious. I've never seen him ever do that in front of the camera.
Yeah,
I mean, a explosive fight.
Listen, plays into Liam's hands, so fair play.
It's going to be an explosive fight. I can't wait for that. I've been waiting for this fight for such a long time. Yeah, and I'm so happy it got materialized because there was rumors of Andrade that he might have vacated this belt, but it's happened. So amazing.
Yeah, April 17th. So good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to the press conference for this fight. I think the press conference is going to be fire, honestly. Like I said, Liam's very vocal, and I can see him getting under his skin heading into this fight.
Nuts. But listen, he's a good lad, and he can fight like fuck. So
100%. Nando.
Another MTK global fighter as well. I'm so chuffed that he's finally getting his opportunity to show why he's probably the best flyweight in the country, super flyweight, whichever weight you want to call it. Sonny Edwards gets to fight IBF. Best lane.
Sonny Edwards, listen, he's fighting another MTK fighter as well. So Maruti Mathalan, who's an unbelievable fighter. He's trained by a good friend of mine, Colin Nathan. So that's going to be a great fight, a purist fight. It ain't going to be a knockout fight. It's going to be a purist fight. Over the moon for Sonny. He's very vocal on Twitter. He says a few bits and bobs, doesn't he? So no, he's built himself up. He's got about 38 belts, so now he's got to go for the world title. So looking forward to him fighting, obviously, Mathalan, but this ain't no easy fight. Mathalan, obviously, if you look into Mathalan's career, he's beat Tete, he's beat Casemiro. So listen, he can fight. So it's a good step up for Sonny and see what happens.
I've heard that Jay Harris may fight Eliminator to fight the winner of this fight.
Yeah, Jay's fighting. That show will be announced over the next week. It'll be in the UK. We've managed to get the American over. He'll be fighting Ricard Sandoval. He'll be boxing, headlining the show for the IBF World Title Final Eliminator. I think there'll be a obviously fight in between that, but if Sonny wins, and Jay wins, it's a massive fight for the UK. I'll see Jay Harris. I'll look after Jay, so I'm really looking forward to Jay putting on a show, and putting that fight would be huge. It'd be unbelievable.
It's said online that show might be May 14th. Is that correct?
I can't
say.
Stay tuned. What's going on with Charlie Edwards?
I don't. To be honest, I'm not too sure, but I'm sure he'll get a date soon. He's just had a baby and that, so obviously he's had a bit of time out. But listen, he's still training. I'm pretty certain he'll be out soon.
Brilliant.
We got Conlon making his super bantamweight debut. Well, not debut, he's super bantamweight.
Yeah, listen, Michael Conlon's an unbelievable talent. He's mandatory for the world title at super bantamweight. He took a tough fight with Ionex Baluta, who's advised by MTK. The Irish Slayer at the minute, beat two Irishmen in a row, TJ Doheny and Davey Oliver Joyce. So Michael's going to look to go in and stop that streak. So looking forward to Michael being back and seeing him at his new weight.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be, I guess you got some cracking shows coming up, but I'm really looking forward to the next up and coming months. A fight I'm really looking forward to as well is a massive unification fight, May 8th in Texas.
And then
Canelo.
Joe Saunders.
Joe Saunders, your MTK go fire.
Mate, he's going to do it. I've got belief in him. This is in unbelievable shape at the minute. Listen, it's an hard fight. But listen, if anybody can, I believe it's Billy Joe. I've always said Billy Joe for the last 2-3 years. You scroll back through my social media and you say, I've said Billy Joe beats Canelo. It'd been nice if he was a bit more active, but listen, it is what it is. I believe Billy Joe's going to go in and do the job.
I've always said if there's one man to dethrone Canelo, I think he's the only one in the division that can do it.
Yeah, 100%, sir. Yeah, 100%. I believe that as well. So.
No, I truly believe that. Eddie, I know you're not probably allowed to say, but just your take on the Fury AJ potential fight.
So if it happens, Tyson wins. I hope it does happen. I spent a bit of time with Tyson the other day. He's ready for it. He just wants to fight. He don't care who's in front of him. He just wants to fight. So I hope it happens, but who knows?
Fingers crossed. Yeah, fingers crossed that it'd be a massive historic fight if it does happen. One will live in their memory. I really do hope, obviously, they get over the line and it does happen. Another fight I want to.
Massive, isn't it?
It will be massive. Like Nando said loads of times already, the biggest fight in boxing history, the biggest heavyweight fight of all time.
Hopefully they need a spit bucket, boy, and I'll go.
That's what I said to Jermaine as well. I would, if he needs anyone, I'm there. So just
hopefully, see what happens. Hopefully it happens.
Yeah. Another undisputed fight I want to talk about is obviously is Jose Ramirez versus Josh Taylor.
Yep.
Absolutely fantastic fight. This is a fight I said could potentially be the fight of the year. And I said to Nando last year, I said we had a little discussion which fights you want to be made for 2021, and this was my number one. And I'm so happy that this fight has finally been made. And I really do, if I'm honest, I really do believe that Josh Taylor's going to go over there and become the first Scottish undisputed champion.
100%, no doubt in my mind. I believe Josh is the best 140-pound fighter in the world. He's scary, scary talent. He's improving every day under Ben Davison. They've got a good relationship. So yeah, listen, I'm excited to watch Josh go out there and become undisputed.
I want your take on something. Obviously, not looking past Ramirez because he's no joke anyway. But Josh Taylor winning that. What's your take on this interview that Teofimo did a few months ago and said he's willing to go to 140 to fight Josh Taylor?
Some fight that. Josh is a different animal. I believe Josh beats everyone. But obviously, when he starts going up to like your Terence Crawford and that, listen, it's a lot harder. But the way, listen, who Josh has fought and where he's got to in the amount of fights so far, he's pretty scary. So I'm a big Josh Taylor fan. So I'm buzzing to see where he does go and how far he can go.
As 100%, Catterall fights the winner of this fight. That's 100% right.
Stipulation that Catterall has to fight the winner. I don't understand all the ins and outs of it. So, but listen, that'd be good to see Josh fighting for the undisputed against Jack Catterall in Edinburgh. It'd be unbelievable, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's talked about it recently. Obviously, the castle took a picture outside the castle. I would love to go.
100%. 100%. Lee, before we let you go, do you have a message for the MTK Global fans out there? Everyone always tuning in to your shows and obviously the big fights.
Yeah, no, listen, obviously we're putting on the best 50-50 shows possible. No, I'm not blowing our own trumpet or anything, but every show we're doing is 50-50 all the way through the card. It's not just a couple of fights. I believe they're the best shows about this at the minute. Obviously, that's me blowing our own trumpet, but I just keep tuning in. April 17th, Danny Diglin versus Andre Sorokin. Unbelievable fight. Danny Diglin's time to shine. He's number 5 in the WBO. So we're hoping Liam Williams goes and wins the world title because it's another big MTK fight there. So yeah, no, there's some blinding shows coming up. There'll be announcements coming soon. The viewing figures we're getting for our shows at the minute are beating it every time. So in our last 3 shows, I think we've done like nearly 400,000 views, which is unbelievable. Well, no, actually more than that. Sorry, because Lee McGregor's was nearly 180 on its own. So big viewing figures. So people are watching competitive boxing. So just keep tuning in. The announcements on our May, June, July shows coming over the next month, like a few weeks and stuff. So it's just tune into MTK.
I don't think you're blowing your own trumpet because I've got to say hats off to you and everyone at MTK Global what you're doing right now, especially for what's going on in the world. The show still went on and your shows are unbelievable. Seriously, like even without the crowd there, they're exciting, they're explosive, they're 50-50 and they're always exciting to watch.
When crowds come back, that's how it's staying. We're gonna carry on this the motto we got at the minute is 50-50. and that's what we've got to carry on doing. Listen, that's what the fans want. That's what the viewers want, and like that, and to see like fighters, some of the fighters improving because they're not fighting like obviously journeyman and stuff like that. They're going straight into proper fights. It's progressing them. So it's an exciting future. I've got some great talent coming through. I'm just looking forward to the next 12 months and seeing how far we can go.
Amazing.
And I do echo that. I mean, obviously, me and Nando was talking about it yesterday while I was watching the Dillian White fight, and I said, obviously, your shows. There's some weeks I've been at work and I've come in and I've been looking forward to your shows on a Friday night because they've been unbelievable. And just keep up the good work. Honestly, it really has been a joy to watch.
Appreciate that. They're going to carry on. Don't worry about that.
We look forward to that. Lee, I want to say thank you on behalf of me and Jermaine for taking your time to speak to us today. It's been a pleasure to speak to you. I hope we can catch up soon.
100%, anytime. Give me a shout.
Thank you. Take care. Stay safe.
Bye-bye.